VMP Automotive, and we're getting ready to embark on a new series called Why is my damn check engine light on? In this series, we're going to discuss all the different reasons for that light coming on. The car has a computer system that's in it. It's a very vast computer system. Matter of fact, the computer systems on modern motor vehicles is more complex than it was for when we took a rocket and went to the moon and back. You remember those old 1960s pictures where you had Houston control with all these computers everywhere? Well, guess what? All that is in your car right now, and you're driving around with it. It's pretty incredible. We're going to take a look at all the different reasons for that light to come on, and there's a lot. What is OBD2? Why is it here? We're going to talk about the different subsystems that will make that light come on. The goal of this video series is to make you, my customers, and the general motoring public aware of what's going on underneath that hood and how complex it is. Just like anything else, you have to crawl before you can walk, walk before you can run. We're going to start going into the very basics of where this actually came from. Onboard diagnostics, OBD2. Well, if there's an OBD2, there must have been an OBD1. And yes, that is true. Back in the 80s, they started putting computerized fuel injection on cars. It was very primitive and crude, but what was the goal? The goal was to actually clean up the combustion process, make it more efficient, which is great. So OBD1 is Onboard Diagnostics 1, which covers vehicles made from about 1980 to 1996. 1996 is the cut point. That's when vehicles went to OBD2, Onboard Diagnostics 2. The difference between Onboard Diagnostics 1 and Onboard Diagnostics 2. The OBD1 only controlled the fuel injection system and basic emissions, and it could not test itself. That's the key. It could not check itself. OBD2, however, the computer systems are so much more advanced that they run self-tests continuously. We are going to basically hook vehicles up to this scan tool, and we're going to see actual diagnostics being performed and what's going on. So when you bring your car to the quote shop, whatever shop you choose to frequent, they may have a similar piece of equipment to what I'm going to show you. 99% of the vehicles on the road, that connector is somewhere near your steering column. They hide it, but it is there. You've all been to AutoZone and Advance, and where they offer the capability of plugging their car into their reader and then telling you the code. Now, that is poor diagnostics, guys. They're there to sell parts. You have to understand that. They're not in the repair business. So they're going to hook up this thing called a code reader. A code reader looks something similar to this. There again, it has the OBD2 plug in it, right? And it has a display box. And so they plug this in and they read the code on here, a display. Okay, so let's say you have a code PO171. So what did they do? Well, gee, the code reader says that the oxygen sensor is running lean. What do they sell you? They sell you an oxygen sensor. Said this just gives you a generic code. And from that, they're going to try to sell you a part because they're in the parts selling business. That's their job. I went out and invested the money into the Snap-on Diagnostic Center that you see behind me. It is wireless, meaning I can show you what I'm doing underneath the hood right on this screen. I already made you go through the boring classroom. Now we're going to bring in a 2007 Chevy Avalanche. This Chevy Avalanche was towed here. The customer was complaining that it was driving down the road. The check engine light was not only on, but now the check engine light is starting to flash like a disco. And the engine was running like a total bag of crap. Running so bad that it scared him enough to have the vehicle towed in. Unfortunately, I hate to say this, but a lot of times that's when people actually bring their car to the shop, is when it's on the back of a tow truck. I don't know what's wrong with this truck yet. We're going to hook a scan tool to it, and you're going to see just like I am right now. Right here, remember I told you about 12 inches or so, 24 inches in that area. Well, there's our steering column. Right here, underneath the dash is our plug. I know I got a plug. I got my little green light on. I'm going to take my wireless adapter. I'll put it up here on the hood. Okay. So now we're ready to start working. I'm going to pull up my diagnostic suite. There's my scanner. And we're going to go, this is Chevy. It's a 2007. Okay, great. Look at all this. These are all the computers on your car. These are modules. And they all talk to each other. Oh, there's a whole bunch of them. Look at them. Tire pressure, seats, rollover sensors, radio, keyless entry, oh, HVAC, that's your heating and air conditioning, right? Your instrument panel, stuff you look at. This is electronic suspension, of course your doors, your body module. But for the time, we're just going to concentrate on our engine. So we're going to go to codes. Now we want to display codes. Makes fair, right? So why is my check engine light on? Let's look. Diagnostic, display. Oh boy! So if I went to AutoZone, I would get this right here. They would say, well, you got a PO121. Would they be able to diagnose that as a throttle position sensor problem? Good luck. We got the engine misfire code, which is pretty obvious, right? Because it is misfiring at this point. We've also got this thing called the PO449 EVAP. I call it EVAP, evaporations emissions, vent solenoid control circuit. What EVAP is, guys, fuel vapors. But back in the 60s, 70s, vehicles would sit in hot sun. We didn't have very much of an EVAP system to control that. So as they sat in hot sun, they would cook, and you would smell the gasoline vapors coming out of the gas tank and all over your car. So when you went out to start that vehicle, it smells like you're putting your head in a gas can. Besides that, that's hydrocarbons going up into your atmosphere. The emissions control people do not like hydrocarbons. Your ozone layer don't like hydrocarbons floating up in your atmosphere. That's why we had to get a handle on that. That's what EVAP emissions are. They are control of fuel vapors. We can't have that leaving the car. Let's dig a little further. I want to go to misfire, because obviously the engine's misfiring. Gee, we have misfires happening right now on number 4 cylinder, number 3 cylinder. This is present right now. This is history. Gee, misfire history. Number 3 cylinder missed 9,138 times. That's a lot. Number 2 cylinder missed 8,700. Number 4, gee, 41,000 misses. Active right now. That's why the check engine light's on. These things are definitely, we have a major failure problem right here. I'm going to pull into this thing right here. This is very unique. This is General Motors cylinder deactivations data. What this system is, guys, because GM wanted to make their trucks have better gas mileage on the highway, this engine would go from running, it's a V8 engine, has 8 cylinders, right? 8 pistons. This deactivation system allows the engine to shut cylinders off. So it turns a V8 into basically a V4 for fuel economy, and then it activates it back and forth. It's an incredible system when it works. When it doesn't work, it's a bad day. Right now, this deactivation system is off, meaning that it's not causing this terrible misfire. So either A, we have a bad set of coils and plugs, or B, we have an internal engine problem. Now that's where I actually have to be a master tech and diagnose the issue, because if it's severe enough, it could be an engine for this gentleman. In wrapping this up, as you can see, this is a real diagnostic issue. This is not something that I can do on film to make it. There's no quick fix to this. I'm going to actually have to do my job and find out what's going on inside that engine, which can involve compression tests and all different types of actual testing procedures. There again, like we had talked about before, I'm not training you to be ASC master technicians. I'm training you to get some broad knowledge of what's going on underneath the hood of your car. Hey, thanks for watching the video. I hope you found it informative as well as enjoyable and insightful of what goes on underneath the hood of your car. Like us on Facebook. We have a Facebook page, BMP Automotive, and we can use all the likes we can get. And remember, any problems, any questions that you would like to address, Michael at BMP Automotive will be glad to answer them. Have a great day.